Donner Essential L-1 is here. A beautiful modern analog synth inspired by the legendary Roland SH-101. In this video, we'll take it on a sonic journey, exploring how it fits into the world of ambient drone and cinematic soundscapes. Donner kindly sent me this unit for testing, and right away I realized how perfectly it lends itself to creating evolving textures and atmospheric drones. If you're new here, I'm not your typical synth reviewer. There are plenty of great channels for in-depth technical breakdowns. Instead, I'm just your friendly neighborhood ambient musician, sharing my approach and ideas to help you discover new creative possibilities with your gear and stay inspired. This synth may have a classic soul, but with its modern features, it's a powerful tool for ambient music, swirling drones, evolving textures, and hands-on controls for real-time expression. And yes, it even includes our favorite feature, the hold button, perfect for endless sustained notes or hypnotic arpeggios that carry you into space. There's even a dedicated drone setting in the VCA. With the classic sound, tactile controls, built-in arpeggiator, sequencer, and drone mode, the L-1 feels like it was made for ambient composers. So, without further ado, let's dive in. First, I'll share my first impressions. Then, I'll show you how I like to set up the synth for optimal ambient drone creation. Then, we'll jump into a live performance to explore its sonic potential, with a few practical tips along the way. Let's go! The build is solid enough. It's not super heavy duty, but it definitely doesn't feel cheap. Also, it's lightweight enough to carry around. The design is clean and modern, and there are good connectivity options. It makes plugging in other gear easy. One of my favorite features is the magnetic removable keyboard. It's super versatile and keeps the synth compact when you need it to be. Sound-wise, I think it captures quite well that classic analog vibe of the SH-101, warm and punchy. But it also gives you more flexibility for sound design, with extra modulation options and envelopes to play with. The added arpeggiator and the 64-step sequencer make it surprisingly powerful. You can create evolving textures and patterns that would normally take more gear. Overall, it's simple to use, but packed with possibilities. And it's definitely usable for any kind of music style, including drone, ambient, and experimental. To really make it shine as an ambient synth, you'll want to use some reverb. Any kind will do, whether it's a hardware unit, a guitar pedal, or a software plugin like the Valhalla Supermassive I'm using. Just make sure it's set rich and lush without washing out your sound. Okay, as a first thing, we'll go from the left to the right to set up the L1. We'll set the LFO to random and leave all the faders down. Let's set the range to 16. Let's set the sub-oscillator range to the lowest position, and then we'll start with just one oscillator. Let's reset the frequency filter. All these faders are down for the moment. In the envelope 1, let's soften the attack, set sustain to the max, and add a little bit of release. In the envelope 2, we will have a very slow attack, the sustain to the max, and we don't care about the release for the moment. As for the VCA, we'll use the envelope 2. Okay, so then let's take advantage of the hold function and press a key. Very slow attack. Since I'm using a big reverb, We don't need any release if we press a new note. We get this smooth transition because of the reverb. Since this is a monophonic synth, when we trigger a new note, the previous one is cut, so you can't really overlap notes. But by using the reverb, we can easily overcome this limitation. Okay, let's say we want to work with this drone. First, we can add a little bit of other oscillators to our taste. And then we can play with the filter to create interesting artifacts. And then, if you use the envelope 1 fader, you can modulate how the filter works. Also, you can use the keyboard fader to open the filter even more. And then, of course, we can add the LFO. Let's turn it up and try to add some random modulation to create unpredictable effects. Okay, now let's create some space arpeggios. First, we choose the arpeggiator function here. Then we'll use the hold button to keep it going. We'll stay with the envelope 2 VCA. Let's start with this oscillator or maybe the triangle. Dry and simple. You can, of course, change the tempo here. Let's go with the lowest tempo setting. It's possible to choose between different types of arpeggio. With the 2 octaves range. Let's now create a bit of magic by adding some delay. Nice! And now some reverb. It sounds more spacious and lively. Now let's play with the filter to move our sound. We can use the other faders too, the envelope one. And if we set the LFO to sync and pull it down to the lowest position possible, we can create some motion effect with the LFO. Let's try a faster tempo now and see what happens. As you've heard, with its unique timbre, intuitive controls and versatile sound shaping capabilities, the Donner L-1 is a real powerhouse for creating immersive soundscapes. If you're into ambient, drone or cinematic music, the L-1 is definitely worth exploring. Hope you enjoyed hanging out. Don't forget to stick around for more ambient content and synth adventures. See you next time.